Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Music of the Week. I know it was supposed to probably be something else, like maybe this episode was supposed to come out yesterday because there wasn't a fight of the night on Sunday, so it should have compensated by putting this video out yesterday. I just didn't wanna, so I didn't. But it's out today, and yeah, no, I was gonna say something, but I'll say that for after the video's over. But yes, it's nothing important, we'll get to it when we get to it. But for now, we have 5 albums to get through, so let's get through them. We start off with All Good Things with what is technically their second album, A Hope in Hell. This is their first album in about 4 years, I think, maybe not that long, but they did... I get the feeling they might have put this out last year, but, you know, last year was last year and we don't talk about it anymore. But yeah, pretty solid alternative rock group from LA, California. I think I brought that up already, in case I didn't, I did now. This album pretty solid though. I'm giving it a B, personally. I thought there was some really good rock stuff on it. It doesn't necessarily go too hard, but I'm okay with that, pretty much, because, like, it's got a really good focus on the melody, and I like a lot of the lyrics and stuff, and my main issue, I think, is because they're signed to Better Noise, but they're one of the few good bands on that label, and I don't have many good things to say about that label. I'm just not a Better Noise fan. But these guys, like, you know, considering how long it took to get this album out, they did the best that they could with it. It is an album that drags on a bit, but it's got solid production, really good performances, a lot of charisma the band show off as well. Yeah, I enjoyed this a lot more than I was expecting to, so I think a B is a fair grade for it, and again, not perfect by any stretch, but has a lot going for it. Next up, we stay in California, but we go to San Francisco for the next one, Deafheaven, with their 5th album, Infinite Granite. Now, I'm pretty familiar with them. I did listen to their last album, Ordinary Corrupt Human Love, 3 years ago, and that album fucking slaps. This album, still pretty good, not as good as Ordinary Corrupt Human Love, but I still enjoyed it. I'm giving it a B+. I feel like it does the focus on melody quite well. I'm trying to think of many issues I have with it. I think it's just because it's not as heavy as the last one and not as much of it stuck with me as their last album did, but still really enjoyed this one. I really liked a lot of the lyrical themes. I liked how it's more of a shoegazy classic thing instead of like the black gaze post-black metal thing they did and probably have done for most of their career. I don't know, I've only listened to Ordinary Corrupt Human Love and Infinite Granite. I still had a lot of fun with it though. The performances are still all really, really good. Really great musical dynamics as always. Really love the riffs, how they dance all over this album as well. Solid production, really tying it together, which has been a main issue of mine with a lot of black metal this year. Like, yeah, you know, at least these guys sort of know what they're doing in that front. So, yeah, not really many things to complain about, and again, just really, really good. Next up, we go to a different state, Ohio, specifically Cincinnati, for Settle Your Scores with their 3rd album, Retrofit. Now, I was actually sort of looking forward to this one because I'd heard the single 1999, which is the single that promoted this album, and I heard a couple of the other ones, and you know what, yeah, I was really looking forward to more of a throwback nostalgia type sound, but I did realise that I've gotten... I don't know why I tapped my finger against the table there. I realised I've gotten more used to the speedier style of pop punk. Still, I think this album was really good. I'm giving it a B. A main problem I saw with other reviews, because I don't usually go into them unless I'm trying to get a better opinion of what other people thought. But you know, usually I don't care about that, but I thought, yeah, I like this album, but how much do I like it? And so as I was looking, I did see a lot of people say that they stay in their comfort zone, and I'm like, yeah, that's really not something you can afford to do on your 3rd album. Usually that's when you start taking a few more strides, you know? I mean, yeah, but still, I think it was their first album in 3 years as well. I could be wrong about that, but I still enjoyed a lot of what I got out of it. I really like the nostalgic throwback sound, especially in the lyrics. Like, there's some Simple Plan / old school Sum 41-esque stuff in there, and that I still personally enjoy despite being almost 30. Like, you know, some parts of you just don't grow up, and I like that they kept that style because it was, yeah, very relatable, very fun sound as well. They've got really good performances. Their drummer, Caleb, he's probably the best performer on this album. He does a really good job. Yeah, solid production as well, really good dynamics, so hence the B grade. Really liked a lot of this. Again, not perfect, and I do wish it did pick things up more often than it doesn't, and they all listed it as easycore, but I didn't really get a lot of heavier stuff, or a heavier vibe from this album, but still, what I did get, I'm not going to complain about. Next up, we head over to Australia with Tropical Fuckstorm and their 3rd album, Deep States. Now, yes, that is their name because Australia could not give less of two shits. So I missed their last album, Braindrops. Thank you, Wikipedia, for having the albums there. And I actually wanted to listen to it, I just never found the time to, because I'm super busy, you know. And as soon as I heard a new album by them was coming out, I was like, oh, I'll listen to that. Really enjoyed it, giving it a B+. Really liked a lot of the stuff going on, really liked a lot of the production value. My main problem with it, and I think it's the main problem a lot of people will have, is because of it being an artsy experimental punk band, it can take a while to fully grow into that style, and that is a thing I have for the next album I'm going to talk about in the last album for this video, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Yeah, I did have some issues getting into it, and I feel like I'm all for irreverence in punk rock, but I feel like they could have taken themselves a bit more seriously. Like, there's just some weird offhand shit in the lyrics sometimes, but I found myself smiling at it, and I found myself overall really enjoying the sound and how well everyone bounces off each other, because it's a 4-member band. 3 of the members are female, the lead singer is a bloke, but some of the other female members also provide co-lead vocals, so that's a really good dynamic. I actually like how that plays out, and it fits well with the album. The instrumental work is really good. Lyrics are a bit weird, but a good weird, you know? Production's solid, structuring isn't bad. I haven't really brought up a lot of structuring in this thing. I don't typically like to do that anyway for Music of the Week, but this album, it's pretty good for what it do. So yeah, I think a B+ is the best thing I can give it. Next up, we return to America, more specifically Olympia, Washington, for what is technically the 6th album by this band, technically 7th, depends on how you see it. Waltz on the Throne Room with their 6th/7th sort of album, maybe, Primordial Arcana. I almost forgot the name of the album. So these are a band I've actually known about for over a decade now. I first heard about them in like Metal Hammer magazine. I think like those magazines used to come with CDs where they would let you listen to songs. I remember listening to Waltz on the Throne Room thinking, I can't get into this, because this is like a sort of dark ambient black metal thing. I wasn't into dark ambient black metal as a late teen. I was into Simple Plan and Good Charlotte. I didn't know what I liked. Well, I did know what I liked, but obviously that's sort of changed over time. This album, though, giving it a B. I mean, these are veterans of that scene, you know. They've been around for 18 years, for a good reason. I really liked a lot of what was going on. And again, much like I sort of said about Deafheaven's album earlier, it does take a different stance with black metal, although it leans more into it than Deafheaven's album does, and I really appreciated the style that they took. I couldn't really get a lot of the lyrics, but there was good performances, really solid instrumental work as well. Like, I love a lot of the riffs, how balanced out they are for the most part. Really good measured structuring. The production actually adds a lot of murk, which serves the album instead of hurting it, which I was quite surprised by, because on a lot of black metal, especially this year, that's been, again, another issue of mine. It can be a bit much, but these guys were like, no, we're going to keep it nice and contained, and they do. And yeah, that's why this album gets the B that it do. So there you go. About to do it for this video. I won't be streaming PPW vs AVW tonight, because I know that like Harsh Environment was like a smaller pay-per-view, and the last small one I'll be doing before Defy the Gods, but I want to get a lot of plans in place because I want to get people more involved in PPW vs AVW, so I want Defy the Gods to be a bit more like taken seriously. As for what's next from me, possibly another top 10 list, maybe another Music of the Week if I can get the albums graded fast enough. I'm hoping to get that done. And also a random gaming stream on Friday night, where I've got, yeah, I was going to say I got something planned, I don't. It's just whatever I feel like playing, so that'll about do it for that then. I can't really think of much else to say. I'll see you all for whatever the hell's next. The only guarantee I can give you is Friday night gaming stuff. Not going to be streaming tonight. And as always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye bye.